since he was the one who authored the letter of First Peter. But I know that a lot of you already know about him. He is often, if somebody says, who's your favorite character in the Bible besides Jesus? A lot of people say, Peter. I relate with Peter. Maddie said that on Sunday night if you were here. Peter is a very lovable sort of guy. And so I want you to help me and help each other by telling me some of the things that we know about Peter. So before Peter met Jesus, what do we know about him?
He was a fisherman.
He was a fisherman. He fished with his brother. Okay, so we know that. Then what happened? Jesus comes along next to the boat, and what does he say?
Follow me.
Come, follow me. And Peter and Andrew drop their nets right then, and they follow Jesus. I wonder at that, just the dynamic that Jesus must have had. And so then Peter, along with the other disciples, they got to hang out with Jesus for 3 years. And what are some of the things that Peter got to see and do with Jesus? What are some of the things that come to mind? He walked on water. Can you even imagine that? I've heard that story since I was little, and sometimes I just go, oh yeah, he walked on water. But think about it. He walked on water because he trusted Jesus. What else do we know about Peter? What was some of his other opportunities?
You got to see the transformation.
He got to see the transformation. Maddie, if you were here on Sunday night, she talked about that, and how amazing was that to be present when Jesus totally changed his appearance and heard from God the Father, this is my son, listen to him. That had to be just incredible. What else do we know about Peter? What are some of the other things?
He saw his mother-in-law healed.
He saw his mother-in-law healed, and as one comic said, I don't know if that was a blessing or not. But he got to see healings. His mother-in-law, the guy who was in chains over in Gennesaret, I think that's how you say it. Lots of healings. People coming from the dead even. Lazarus.
Cock crowing 3 times. The cock crowing.
Okay.
3 times.
He had all these experiences, and then on the night before Jesus was arrested, he was at the Last Supper, and Jesus said, I'm going to betray you. And Peter stands up and he goes, I would never betray you. And he's going to be the faithful one. And Jesus says, before the cock crows 3 times, you will deny me. That's what Becky was referring to. And Peter couldn't believe that. He would never deny Jesus. But towards the end of the evening, or maybe early in the morning, the cock crowed and he realized he had done that 3 times. Not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. And it said he went out and wept. He just realized what he had done. And then he had to see Jesus die on the cross. I don't know how I would feel after having that be my last encounter with Jesus, and then to see him die on the cross. I just don't know how would that feel. But then, a couple days later, what did Peter get to see? An empty tomb. And that had to be just mind-boggling. I mean, a lot of us have read that story so many times, and we don't realize what an amazing, mind-blowing sort of thing that is. So he saw an empty tomb, and then what did he get to see? The resurrected Jesus. Got to touch his hands, got to eat with him. And then later on tonight, we're going to talk about an encounter that he had after that. So this is Peter. Peter is one of the closest disciples to Jesus. He's seen him he's been able to walk on water because Jesus gave him the power to do so. He's seen people healed. He's seen people fed. We didn't even mention that. 5,000 people at one time and 4,000 people at another. And that's just the men they were counting, not even the women and children. And there was food left over, just like Sunday night. That amazed me. We had all these people and we had food left over. And I said, oh, there was loaves and fishes things going on here. I think we figured out there was 97 women here Sunday night. That's incredible. So We are going to be talking about First Peter, but tonight we are going to be talking about Peter, because I think it's really important that you know who this man is that wrote this letter. And then the rest of the time, the rest of the 5 weeks, we'll be diving into the book of First Peter. And I kind of noticed that there's a theme. It wasn't really mentioned in this video, but there's a theme of holiness, and our song was about holiness tonight. And we're called to be holy, and then Peter kind of lays it out there what that looks like, because holy is not a word that we use all the time. Like, you know, we tell kids to grow up and be kind, to be nice to your brother, but we don't say be holy, you know. And so Peter's going to do that for us. He's going to show us what it is to be holy. So I hope you're ready for that. It's going to be good. So Risa, you want to tell everybody what groups they want to go to?